Greetings, Tony from Old River Hardgoods again.
Well, the music you're listening to is Angel's Rise from my first CE, Forgotten Walls, and the links to the full version, which was made a number of years back, are down there in the description. And as you can tell from the title, we are on our way to the first day of the Jacktown Summer Steam Engine Show and Flea Market. Weather's finally broken. When I say broken, it's been steamy hot here, swamp weather, and at least today looks to be a little nicer. Tomorrow's not too bad either. So we'll see what we can find. I'll be going back for a cleanup pass on Saturday, and hey, you don't know, right? By the way, this is also my 100th video. Hard to believe, eh? Yeah, if I'd have planned things better, maybe I should have just did a compilation video of all the videos I've done for the 100th one, but didn't get around to it, so we'll just let this one stand for now. But anyways, sit back and just enjoy some of this beautiful morning sunrise. I'm awake. Take a look at that glorious sky. We haven't had too many of these this month. It's been too hot and clear, or cloudy, foggy, whatever, but definitely worth the price of admission. Well, I made it. Just walking in. People are just starting to set it up. Got the sawmill ready to rock and roll. Maybe catch some of that in action tomorrow. People just out talking, walking, meandering. Make it over to the flea market section. Hopefully see if I can find some good stuff today. And I'm seriously in need of good fix of stuff. That's the problem when you find the good stuff, it don't last too long. So anyways, off we go. Well, flea market here is actually pretty well hopping. Bought a few things already. Lots and lots of stuff to see. Beautiful sky still. Weather feels great. I've said it before, but compared to the past week, this is like heaven for being out walking and picking. So somebody's wake-up alarm went off. More stuff to look at. And I made a few more buys. It turned out to be an okay trip so far. Now that I could use. The sun's now out and the clouds have moved away, so it's starting to get a little on the warm side, but it's still a little bit of a breeze, so picking's been steady. Nothing killer, but I have a lot of work to do after this trip, that's for sure. Well, I'm making my way back out to the truck. Legs are sore. It's been 2 hours, although my step counter doesn't agree with me on that, but got a load in the sack, that's for sure. Probably close to 25 pounds, maybe hitting the 30-pound mark, which is my limit. But I did run into a couple of folks, fans from the channel, as to speak. One guy even pointed at his son and said, "Hey, look, we watch these videos." But, and of course, there's Sandy.
Everybody knows.
Yes, they do. I know her for like 100 years from the Salisbury Flea Market, so. But, well, anyways, I'm just going to keep moseying here and get back to the truck. Well, I survived the trip back here to the shop, only find out I didn't have a parking space within a reasonable distance, so I had to hump all this stuff about a block and a half over here. This is getting crazy, but anyways, pickings were decent, you know, I can't complain. So let's take a look. This is a Hargrave circular gasket cutter for a brace, not too bad a shape, needs a little TLC. Cobbler's tool. Some kind of float or edger. Yeah, those teeth should be kind of sharp. It's got a fence on it. Didn't see a maker on it yet, but I'm sure I can find something. Came at the same time, a belt punch. Needs a little TLC. A PS Stubbs. Watchmaker's jeweler's screw plate. Those are getting hard to come by. A set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rivet sets. Again, the price was right. They all need some cleaning, but I can do that. It's an early Starrett divider, Yankee pattern. It's got the patent date under the rust there. It also has a quick set nut, which you don't see too often on that model. A hand-forged bull adze. Unfortunately, it was used for garden duty, as you can see here. Cement duty, or God only knows what else. That edge is going to need some work. Handle's kind of an improvisation. Somebody put a freaking nail in it, but yeah, we'll figure all that out. I'll probably wind up taking that handle off just so I can try and sharpen the thing. Hand forged carpenter's hammer. Not too bad a shape. Handle's recent addition. Blacksmith tongs. I guess they're about 14 inches. I like the small ones. They're easier to ship. Witherby 1-inch firmer chisel. I remember when this would have been a $75, $85 sale, but not no more, but should clean up all right. A number 4 sweep, Sculpture Associates, 1 inch, about carving tool gouge, not too bad a shape again. A European style cobbler's hammer. Unfortunately, somebody did some power washing on it, so I can't really tell who made it. It's got a couple sketchy areas, but for the money, it's not too bad. Wood handle turn screw. One of my Facebook followers, YouTube followers, I don't know, he pointed out to me, "Hey, you like these?" He was rooting in the same box, so. Nice little vise. Jeweler's vise, armorer's vise. Hand forged, it looks to be. It's missing the top piece here for the screw, but needs to be depainted and cleaned up, but we have the technology to do that. And I saw a whole bunch of tri-squares, but I passed on most of them except for this one. 19th century style. No mark that I can see as of yet, but as you can see, it's pretty clean. It won't take too much to get that guy in working shape again. So, hey, that's day one. We're going to have to see what day two brings. Well, it's about 6 a.m. here on Saturday. Just did a quick trip around Sailorsburg, which only turned up one W. Butcher cow, just a smaller one. People are still setting up. Usually the market's getting later and later, but you still got to get here early to find anything half the time. You know, it's just the game. But anyways, I'm going to take a slow ride back down to Jacktown, and so I can get a decent parking space at least. People probably not quite open, but you never know. Sometimes these things just start up faster than they used to. I remember everybody used to say, nobody gets up at Jacktown till 9 in the morning. Well, that ain't the case anymore. So anyways, I'm rattling, I know. Off we go. So this morning sky isn't quite as nice as yesterday's, but it's still pretty morning. And we're back. Quarter to 7, I should say. You see a few more people back here in the exhibition area. Some stuff's starting to run already. I'm going to try and focus today more on more of this stuff than the flea market end. But we shall see, right? Tactical start at 9, so hopefully I can get some of that. And, get the sawmill going, and well, lots and lots of fun. So anyways, back to the flea market part for the first bit of this adventure.
Look. That's where I'm heading to. Oh no! You better go there first.
Guy with a sky buggy. More flea market action. Well, pretty much done with the flea market for this trip. Got a few more things. Not as good a pickings as yesterday, but I didn't expect it to be. So, of course, people look at me funny as I'm walking around. But I'm going to head out here and check some of the other sights and sounds. I remember one of those. I've even driven one of those.
So, sight glass, gauge cluster, main gauge clear, and then there's the engine light here.
So my sight glass is in that sort of the shady side of the boiler.
Yep.
There's a light source over there, but in order to get to read it, I have to get between the light source and that.
Yep.
So I was thinking about doing this, getting some sort of a bead that would float on the interface.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a glass bead or some sort of plastic that doesn't
This guy's got a nice display of tools, but he's not willing to sell any of them. Boy, I could make my day on half the stuff he's got here. But what are you gonna do? Getting ready for the pulling competition. Hacking it down. There's tractor row. Got the big boy fired up here. Come on. The cockpit.
So this ran a loop lower that supplies holding and holding.
Saw them yesterday. More of the tractors back here. Some are painted and pretty, some are just right off the farm. Don't get much more American than this, folks.
Oh, should have known. Are you pulling too?
Yeah, running around putting some water down. It is kind of dusty back here. Ain't rain here in a minute or two. Well, figuratively speaking. People pick up a lot of dust, so they just wetting it down a little. They even wet down the track here. Hoping to get started by now. They're having some kind of meeting over there. It seems to be going in the extra inning, so I don't know. I'm going to stick around for it. I really need to start making my way back to the shop. whistle. Well, they're fixing to get the sawmill running. They don't have it running yet. Power is being supplied by that belt back there on the tractor. Yeah, shoveling sawdust. That it does make a lot of. But that's a wrap for Jacktown for this year. Couldn't do my usual with the back, sitting in the seat type of sign off. Because like 3 people saw me get in the truck and were waving at me for the parking space. So I got out of there, figured I'd let them fight it out. Crazy. But you know, folks, you want a good parking space, you get there early like I do. But anyways, now it's time to take the arduous trip back to the shop. Take a look at what we got and call this one a wrap. So we'll see you in a bit. Well, this is a loot from today. This is the one I got at Sailorsburg. It's a Butcher, W Butcher. It looks like a 3/16. I didn't measure it. Gouge, but it does have the original handle. You know, it's got some paint and stuff on it, but it should clean up all right. 6-inch Starrett. Number 83, Yankee pattern divider. This one's actually in good shape. The one I got yesterday's, I started cleaning it. I'm not sure how good it's going to come out. Little copper wire gauge. Does have some pitting on it. I don't know if that can be salvaged. It's another Starrett, a 236 protractor and depth gauge with the hook rule. That would be 236H, I believe, as they called it. That's not in too bad a shape. A little Stanley, Sweetheart, number 29, cornering tool, or don't see too many of these anymore. That'll need some TLC. Lee Valley, I believe this is a plane setting hammer. Got a little wooden face there, a few dings and bumps on it. Might shine that up just a touch. An A&E Baldwin, New York, boxwood marking gauge. Some staining, that's common with boxwood, but you don't see too many of these guys around. They definitely didn't make the journey well. Kind of interesting, user-made wooden hand vise. This is going to need a little careful cleaning, but it's kind of neat, I think. And nobody wants it. I'll just put it in one of my toolboxes and hide it until I pass away. Another neat item is this guy. This is for doing. There it is. It's for picture frame canvas stretching tool. Somehow gets inserted in the corners, and when I list it, I'll have a copy of the patent. Maybe I'll do a quick video segment on it with the patent once I get it cleaned up. But Aaron shot this or something like that. I didn't can't read my handwriting. Granby, Connecticut was granted patent number 262, I think, or 162, on February 13th, 1883, and patent number 320300 on June 16th, 1885, for the design of this guy. And I tell you, it took some digging to find that, but still kind of neat. C.S. Osborne divider. 5 inches? Yeah. Tips have been ground a bit. Does have some light pitting on the back, but we can make that right. And last, a push screwdriver by the Decatur Coffin Company, although the company name's kind of faint on there. Christopher Olson was granted patent number 306096 on October 7th, 1884, for the design of these guys. And they do show up once in a while. This one still has the original handle, but it's kind of rough. I've seen a lot of these where the handles were replaced, so for some reason they just didn't make the journey, but, coffin screwdriver, right? Anyways, I didn't go crazy buying a bunch of junk today because I was just kind of looking for neat and different items. I got plenty of junk, so I just wanted some stuff that could clean up, could sell, and not have to fuss about it. So I think I succeeded. But anyways, that's it for this run. Okay, folks, well, I hope you enjoyed my little trip to the sights and sounds of Jacktown. Enjoyed looking at the tools. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button to be notified when new videos are posted. As always, thanks for watching and bye.